Hello everyone, and welcome to the Success Attitude show, our second show for this new series. And today I wanted to share with you a few things about inspiration and new ideas to create new things in the world, and kind of like where these came from and why they are important. And also a couple of things that I wanted to share about was where the success attitude came from, because when we look at the new ideas and the new concepts that are developing in the world and new inventions, it's like, where did these come from and why are they important to us as a human being, as a person, and why are they important to globally as well? And so we look at some of those ideas as well. So today, again, I'd just like to introduce myself. I'm Janice Davies, and I'm a speaker and a motivator and an author and a coach, and also a script writer, which I was inspired to do, and putting together a movie which I hope to play, well, not I hope, I will have out in 2019. So all that is new, and it is all outside of my comfort zone. But as I am developing it, I'm learning and finding the right people and the right resources, and I've got the confidence to go out and get it. And part of this journey called the success journey, our creating our successes in life, is actually getting to the stage and learning to have confidence and trust in yourself as you develop new ideas. Now, you may have heard this chap called Einstein, and he was around, years ago, and he said that there were 1,000 ways that he found not to create the first electric light bulb. And so every time he tried something, it didn't work, he could cross that off the list. And then there's another machine that you may or may not have used. It's called a sewing machine. Now, I've just forgotten the chap who invented it. Let's call him Mr. Sewing. And he had been trying to work out how he could create something to do the stitches when people are sewing. And so his answer came to him in a dream. And in that dream, he saw a very small pointed needle with the thread going through the end of it. And he realized that that was the solution to how he was going to be able to create the sewing machine. And so when we think of that, where did his dream came from somewhere in his conscious or subconscious or mind, and why, the same as Einstein, that he was looking for ideas that it took 1,000 times before he found it. And so when we look at any new idea that's going to create success for you, it's like what you've been doing in the past doesn't work. And so what new idea is going to come along that you may have seen in the past, may have missed it because you weren't ready to try something or have the courage and confidence to try it. But now there is an inclination within yourself that you want to achieve a little bit more. And you want to give it a go. You want to try and succeed at it or work towards it, or you're positive about it because you're kind of sick of where you are in life, not achieving the things that you really want. And so rather than become discouraged, which maybe you have, if you switch your attitude around to becoming enthusiastic about finding an answer how to create something, then your energy and your focus in your life is completely different. And so you are more likely to see the opportunities and things that are coming your way. Now, there was a television program on in America a few years ago called The Big Idea, and it was put together by Donnie Deutsch, and who's a very smart businessman, and he had a lot of people in there that he interviewed who had an idea about something but never ever had the confidence or courage to achieve it for quite a while, until suddenly they decided that they were going to go for it. And part of that was about, also he said, about creating hope, you know, that hope that we can do something and people can achieve something. And so all of this is about looking for solutions. And I created a presentation one day as well, a workshop, and it was called The Big Idea, Your Big Idea. And in that, I did a lot of research about where do ideas come from? Where does inspiration come from? And how had it been used in the past? And how were we using it to create the future? And there were some very, very interesting ideas that I came up with that I found obviously online. And some of them were that there were a lot of military, and I mean big military, famous soldiers who had used inspiration as one of their solutions when they were at war, and that they felt really inspired to do something, and that by following that inspiration and that idea, they had been successful. And so there was a lot of information about some of those people. And then I also found a lot of some information about some very big business people that we have heard of and know currently. And these three business people had all said that at some time in their business careers that they had used intuition or their gut reaction to make some business decisions about how they were going to conduct their business. And I'm not saying all their business decisions, but some of them. And those famous people that you most certainly would have heard of, the first one was Bill Gates, and look what he's created with the computers. The second one was Oprah Winfrey, and look at where her life started and the challenges that she had as a young person, and her ongoing challenges with regard to changing herself, to then having her talk show, and then of course being inspired, she said, to create her own television show, which is enormous. And so that's another person. And the third person that you may love or not is Donald Trump. And so no matter what, he is always out there creating something new in his businesses. So where does this inspiration or these ideas come from? And so with a lot of our new inventions, you hear about it's a spark of an idea. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you on this as well was that there's sort of 4 different levels that I've sort of found that have also guided me to what I'm going to be doing in my movie, which has never been done before. And one of them is like, okay, so we have our dreams, and where do our dreams come from? Where do those sparks of ideas come from? And there was another video and research that I did, and it showed that the brain, when it gets an idea, what it looks like. And then it also had another comparison about what the universal energy looks like out in space. And so it was very, very interesting that these 2 photographs that I had in the article that I found was sharing is that, so if our brain and the universe virtually look the same, and I will share them in one of the hangouts, one of the hangouts that I'm going to do in the future, is that are we connected to something that is giving us some new ideas? Is there a bigger something out there and that is sharing ideas with it? And most certainly for myself, I've over 25 years have learned and embraced that concept as well. So our inspiration, where does it come from? So for me to create the Success Attitude TV show, I had 3 days that I had an idea that just hummed around me. And so how do we explain that? Like there was something going on in my mind all the time was saying to create a Success Attitude TV show. And for me, it was like, oh, I don't even know how to do that. I'm not good enough. I've never done a Google Hangout. I'm so tired. I actually was coming down with the flu, which I didn't realize, but it was this huge idea that was way out of my scope of thinking at that particular time to do something new. Is how do we share to people to be more successful? And I don't know how to do a Google Hangout, so I can't do it. I don't know how to do a TV show, so I can't do it. So it took me 3 days to write down that idea. And when I did write it down, I was also guided or inspired to write it on a great big piece of paper, which actually, believe it or not, is hanging up on the wall behind me. And so that great big piece of paper has some of the ideas that I jotted down when I was inspired to create this Success Attitude TV show. And so, you know, we look at your ideas and how you are going to create your success is what are the ideas that you have had and you've quashed. Like I could have done and said, no, I don't know how to do a TV show. I don't know how to do a Google Hangout. And I'm still learning, let me assure you. But it's about you're getting ideas to help you be more successful. But what's stopping you is the lack of courage or the fear that somebody may say that, you know, you were dumb or stupid, or why should you try that? Or we like you to do that. And all these sorts of negative words that you could hear because people want you to be as they want you to be. And it makes it easier for us to go along with it. It doesn't make it happier. And there becomes a time in life and that, you know, you are really being pulled upwards. And really that's what this television show is about. This is a process that I call shoulder tapping. And throughout my life, there's been people that have shoulder tapped me and said, Janice, I think you can do this. And it started in my when I was a young mother, when I was invited to be to learn how to learn how to be a better parent, and then how to learn how to be on the committee, and to learn how to be a president of a voluntary group, and to learn how to run workshops and things like that. So there's were always people that were suggesting that I did things that were opportunities for me to grow. And so tomorrow I'm going to be talking about some more about that as well. But it's about for yourself, what are the ideas that are coming to you about things that you can do that can create more success for yourself. So here's 4 stages that I've learned that are about other forms of shoulder tapping, as I shared with about Oprah and Bill Gates and Donald Trump, and also the people in the military who had used their inspiration or their gut reaction or that feeling from inside that there was something else that they could do that was the way they should go. And that's what I'm looking for, to try and find you, to help you find that inner being, that inner spark who really is wanting to come out and discover the real you. And so the 4 stages I wanted to talk about is about a premonition. You know, get a premonition about something, and I had something a few days ago that I was needed to go and read a book, and the book appeared. And so it's like an inkling that something's going to happen. An inspiration is like you feel inspired to do something. So here's me with the show, which I shared to you about earlier. An inspirational thought about something that maybe you should do something, or you've forgotten your key, and you know, you're getting an idea, oh, I better go and check my key to make sure I've got my key in my handbag, or I've locked the car, or I've locked the house, or something like that. And then there's another one that's called an impulse, which is kind of like you really feel like you've got to do something. And for other people, it might seem weird, but you really feel that, you know, maybe you should go to the shop and buy some matches, or you should, you know, do something. And those are all kind of little bits of yourself and the universe, and that are helping you and guiding you to towards the successes. And so, as well as all the logical things that we're going to be sharing, we're going to be sharing some things like that as well, because we are all being guided. This is a TV show to shoulder tap you and to help you grow onwards and upwards, because we need every person to be successful and energetic. And instead of wasting their lives in negative relationships and moaning and groaning and whinging and bitching about all the things that are wrong and expecting to be looked after, it's about, you know, why should one person look after another person when that person is quite capable of doing it themselves? And absolutely, there are some people that obviously are sick and need to be helped, and I'm not saying that. But for people that we get caught up in the negativity and all the things that are wrong in our life for us, whereas we actually need to start taking personal responsibility to help things change for ourselves. And so that's what this show is going to be about as well. It's having the success thinking. It's being able to think, well, this is my life and I'm unhappy with this. I haven't got the job I want. So what do I want, and how can I train, and what can I do to improve that? I haven't got the relationships that I want. So what can I do to move away from the one, or first of all, improve it if I can, if not move away from it? And what type of relationship do I want that's going to make me feel happier, that I'm creating, that's a win-win one? And so, and what's my health like? If I'm not healthy, what are the things that I need to do? Do I need to exercise, eat better, drink more water? Things, you know, if we're buying food, so why not buy healthier food? So all the little things that you need to be able to improve your life, and they're one little step at a time to be able to make the changes for yourself. So today I've got another freebie for you, which I have on every show. And today's freebie is the Attitude Poem. And this was written by Charles Swindoll, and it's talking about that attitude is, it's like 10% what happens to us and 90% what we do about it. So yes, stuff happens and we don't like it and it hurts us, or we get angry, and then from then on, do we choose to stay in that negative place, or do we choose to fix it and find an answer and go searching to how we can make it better so that we don't have it in again? And so that's the attitude part of it. So today is the attitude poem. If you would like a copy of the attitude poem, please email me. My email is down the bottom there, Janice at Attitude Specialist. And to wind up today, what I'd like to share with you as well is that absolutely, totally, I was inspired to create this show. I've been inspired and more than that, to create the movie that is upcoming. And so for anything, we are always being shoulder tapped by an idea, a person, a book, a television show, a song. There's things out there that are going to help us to be successful. And so it's about being open to them. So if you think about when you started the beginning of the show, from a 1 to 10, you were thinking about success. No, I can't do it. And so 1 is low and 10 is high. At the beginning of the show, think about how you felt. Did you sort of think, oh no, I can't do this, I can't create my successes, I don't know what to do, and rate yourself quickly with a number? Maybe you're at 4, and then once you've listened to this now, and I've talked about some of the other people that use inspiration, famous people that are alive today, famous military people, how our brain thinks, how we're supported by other people, and universal energy to create success. How do you feel about it now? And if you have gone up from, say, a 4 to a 5, and you think, oh yeah, okay, so maybe that happened to me and I said no to it, but if it happens again, I might change my mind and say, yes, I'm going to do it this time. And so just a little change in your thought, a little aha moment that you've been prepared to create a bit more success for yourself is what we're looking for with this show, because bit by bit, that's how you move forward. So again, if you want to be part of our Success Attitude Mastermind group, it's on Facebook. It's a closed group, but in there we have daily themes, and it's all about you wanting to be more committed and being in a supportive, positive environment to create the successes you want. Because as you change, you need to be with positive people and other positive people who can support you, give you more ideas, rather than stay with the negative people and the place that you've been. And so sometimes it's spending less time with negativity, but putting more time in the positive things so that you can create your success. And that is being devoting yourself to your life and learning to get a different balance, because if you do nothing, you're always going to have what you've got. But if you're looking for more success, it's about, here's some little things that can help you move forward. So thank you for listening. Until tomorrow and our next show, take care and go well.